Y'all, as I told y'all yesterday or the day before, I really hate doing redundant, typical, yet again commentary on the same shit. But it's just they always do it to they know you just gotta hit, type a comment or something. And here we are with this guy. I've been seeing him lately, the last 2 3 days on my timeline. I don't. I'm going. I think I'm going to block him after this because again, I'm tired of this type of rhetoric back and forth. But he chose, and again, I'm sure he purposely did so, the most finger pointy way to say why men don't like single moms. But he, again, the finger pointy way is he did it in such a way to say, yo, it's because they ain't shit and they just some haters, basically. That's basically what the commentary was. But I'm gonna go over this long ass paragraph, this essay he wrote on why if you have anything but niceness to say about women who have children and no baby daddy in sight, oh, you just some jealous, non-selected guy, something, something. But here we go. Let's get on into it. And his name is called Intellectual Sniper JC Author. That's not intellectual when you're just where you're purposely creating things just for people to get annoyed at you. That's not intellectual. That's just a what is it? Not a gaslighter, but like I don't know. Fill in the blank. I can't think of the word. But y'all know what I'm talking about. At least I hope so. He says top four reasons single moms are hated publicly. Now that's in all caps, so I'm assuming that it is. I'm not sure why the publicly is more important than anything else or the most important thing here, but it is. So he said most of the single mothers have nothing to do with morality. It's literally sexual competition being played out with misguided anger. The truth is, all men will not get to reproduce for various reasons. You're dealing with a situation where many men are severely paranoid about their reproduction chances and sexual access. The fastest false mental soothing is to blame unmarried women that have already had children. I guess that was the intro, and then here we go with the four reasons. One, many men hate that single mothers come from many of men that hate single mothers come from them. Being a product of a single mother could dramatically affect a young man's self-esteem and identity. While he will cling to his mother at a young age, but there could be deep crushing resentment at the later stages because what's not taught from a manly stance. There's a feeling that part of him is missing, aka the father's presence. Regardless of truth, there will be an unfortunate sharp blaming to the mother of everything wrong. This slowly bleeds into a hatred of all single mothers. A single mother is literally a psychological reminder to a man struggling with women that he wasn't sexually chosen first. Breeds deep resentment. Many men feel that there will always be more of an unspoken loyalty to the child's father because she gave birth to his lineage. Again, it's not about what's true or reasonable, it's about the feelings associated. Many men feel it's better to only deal with childless women because they are perceived not dirty and he will have better influence over her. There's unspoken feeling that the child's father is the true alpha of the house, regardless of how comfortable the mother may try to make a man feel. Three, many men believe that upon dating a single mother, all resource will immediately depleted due to the maintenance of her children. Again, it's not about what's true or reasonable, it's about the
Someone's at your
feelings
door.
associated. Women
Someone's
have
at your door.
100% reproductive rights. If men had 100% reproduction rights, you would never hear about single mother never again in life. Because women are literally choosing who lives and who doesn't, many men share a deep hatred over single mothers. In addition, women get to decide what men have a chance to reproduce, who doesn't for their own reasons, whether it makes sense or not. Men don't have a choice in termination of pregnancy, and again, this breeds deep, unspoken hatred. Many men feel they should have a say because it does affect them. Blessings. Now I'm gonna pause this real quick so I can put on Do Not Disturb because I had that problem last video. All right, so per usual, wanted to read that all the way through, and then now we are going to do some um debunking of sorts, whatever. And we'll start with the intro. Um, most of the single mothers have nothing to do with morality. That's a really shaky thing, and you can't really say like for sure whether or not it's a morality thing because the whole marriage thing. Are you going by legal marriage? Is two families simply saying they have an understanding of what's going on, so on and so forth. Was it a one night stand? Was it a man and a woman just simply having an ongoing, just they have an attraction to one another? But there's so much that goes into if you can decide if this is morality or not. I don't think you can say for sure if it is or isn't for most, because it's hard to say it for even the single case. So I think what this statement here is just bullshit of him just trying to push his point forward of, oh, you just hate them. It's just your feelings and that's it. Dude, whether you are for or against single mothers, you cannot say that it's not a morality issue. You gotta really, you can come up with some general ideas. Again, like, is it outside of marriage? Like, that's one common thing. But depending on your quote unquote community, village, religion, whoever, that's going to be determined based on that situation. So I really hate that he's trying to push this idea of, oh, it's not, has nothing to do with morality. Stop it. It's literally sexual competition being played out with misguided anger. Okay, so I think this is one of those two things can be true at one time and also a not necessarily blah blah blah. So is there some competition that has anger, and is that anger sometimes misguided? If not most of the time, I don't know. You can decide that for yourself, but yeah, all that can be true, and also not necessarily. So, but the part where this will backfire on him and anybody who agrees with this is, well, if someone else won sexually, what would my participation in this after the fact, like what would it be? What's the point? If you're telling me we had me and this other guy who was her baby daddy had a competition for her and I lost, why the fuck would I be the stepdaddy? That doesn't make sense. And why would it be wrong to tell other men, if you are a podcaster, to say, hey, look, that's sexual competition, you lost. So are you now going to be the winner's bitch and go and participate in his victory? Are you going to now serve him his grapes? Like you actually saying this goes against your point. You actually give the podcasters red pill. I'm going to say red pill, even though I mean like red pill manosphere, the whole shebang. I just keep it simple for red pill, okay? You're actually giving them a lot to work with because you're saying that, again, I repeat, it's sexual competition. You lost, so why are you going to go and aid the winner in their situation? Let the winner take care of his situation. I mean, he won it, so he deserves all the responsibility himself, right? All right, moving on. Now, but the whole misguided part, sure. When you start to realize different things, because again, it was called Red Pill Rage. They don't talk about it as much anymore. But when life is served to you one way, and then you start realizing that ain't how this shit work. When you have, like, I had a female cousin who used to tell me like, oh, write a letter. Oh, go and like I forget all of what she all I can remember is to write a letter part. And it's like, no. She's going to, if she even keeps that letter, she's going to like sit it down on a dresser, like fuck some other guy that she actually likes. Like, why would you tell me to write a letter? That's stupid. So when you start to get further into adulthood and realize these things are just blatantly just not true at all, yeah, I can understand how some of that it's anger. If it's not handled carefully, it's going to be misguided, damn near by default. So I mean, sure. Uh, the truth is, all men will not get to reproduce for various reasons. Yeah, that's something that Red Pill actually says. You're dealing with a situation where many men are severely paranoid about their reproductive chances and sexual access. I would really have to go and ask this the poster. I don't like to solely go by dictionary definitions. I would like to ask the poster himself, which I'm not going to do that and hope he responds. Just going to move on here, but to define paranoid, right? Is he using it in a way to say, man, I may never get to have sex and have someone have my kids, and oh my god, like, could that exist? Sure. Is that one of the most common reasons why men have these discourse? I wouldn't say so, but I'll admit that that's really up in the air, and I could be wrong. Um, the fastest false mental soothing is to blame the unmarried woman that have already had children. I'm going to give that a whatever. I mean, it's one of those just, I'm going to just assume you're literally doing what he's literally doing what he says men do with single mothers. He's just assuming a bunch of shit, and it's like whoever agrees with this or doesn't like the situation can just use it to soothe themselves. Like the irony in this. It's always irony when people do this type of work with red pill and all that stuff, because it's like you really could be like perpetrating, or I guess they call it projecting, the very things you talk about. But moving on to reason number one. Many of men that hate single mothers come from them. Okay, this is one of those things where it's like you really got to be a little more specific, otherwise you're just being a shit talker. Because the phrase itself, single mother, is all over the place in terms of definition, all over the fucking place. It could look like I've seen this one Instagram thing where she was talking about her husband like divorcing and stuff, and she kept calling herself single mother, but also mentioned how, basically saying how they co-parent and they co-parent well. And somebody in the comment section said, so I didn't have to, which is, but you're not a single mom then. I don't understand why. And her whole thing was, I'm single, I'm a mother, yes I am. And a lot of women agree with that. And it's like, that's, no pun intended, but really bastardizing the term single mother. Like, that shit is so, like, you can't have it to where if you have a perfectly functional co-parenting situation, that's a single mother, but also the lady who's sitting at the bus stop because her baby daddy ran off on her, if she even knew the nigga at all, if it wasn't a one night stand. Like, come on. You can't have that definition all over the fucking place. Also, for example, I'll use myself for example, as I usually do. My father passed when I was 13, and then I have two younger brothers. They were already divorced, but he was there when he was alive. She didn't like him. She didn't like the way he parented. Does that count as a single mother? Does that see when you're allowed to play with the wording this way and never be wrong? It doesn't help your cause, because now all the men you're talking to and talking about, what's the point? If literally you can play with the definition and words so much that they're just wrong, what's the point? Do I just bow to you because, hell, I can't be right? You can just, whatever you want this phrase to mean, it can mean. Or you want to mean something different now, it's different. What's the fucking point? I'm just going to be wrong. What's the point? Especially since this has reached grade school now. And no, I'm not happy about that. I think it's fucked up that we got a society where this rhetoric reached grade school. So now you have where we know the internet raises people now. They're going to get in this type of environment and just quit before they can even get life started. But do you give a fuck because you can get your clicks and you can win the argument? Nope. But when they even become worse than the men today, a whole nother generation, Remember, not only this generation going to be socially fucked up, they can barely function with an iPad. But you're taking a liking to because you can win this internet argument by not even being honest with the definitions you use. What are you going to say in 10 years when this next generation is a generation of men is adults? And they've already given up a decade ago. What are you going to do then? You're already annoyed at how many men aren't problem solvers today. Well, not only are they not going to be problem solvers, they're not going to do shit. Then what? But hey, you were able to play loosey-goosey with definitions, so you won, right? Okay. Where was I? Being a product of a single mother could dramatically affect a young man's self-esteem and identity. Maybe. I think it really depends on the rest of the environment around him. You know, the other men and stuff like that. Who knows? But that's also up in the air. Again, I hate the fact that he's just making these affirmative ass statements without any context. But it'll allow, as you see in the comment section, it'll allow women or anybody who agrees with him to just say, "Yep." No context needed. Just, "Yep, right. These men are wrong. They suck." You're not going to win anybody over with this. While he will cling to his mother at a young age, but there could be deep, crushing resentment at the later stages because of what's not taught from a manly stance. Again, but this actually shits in the face of a lot of people when they actually try to go against the red pill talking points. Because I've actually heard it to the point where they say the father is not needed, just the mother. So if that's the case, how could this be a problem? Again, I'm serious. I've heard a lot of women recite a study that was done that says the only thing that is needed from the father is the check. The only thing that needed is the father is the child support. I've heard a lot of women make this point. The Ebony K. Williams chick. There's no way she could be in her rights if this sentence I just read, which is you grow up with resentment because you don't get this and that, blah blah blah. There's no way Ebony K. Williams could be right at all. But a lot of people see nothing wrong with what she's doing because they say, "Well, she's rich, she can afford it." So how could that be okay, but this sentence also be true? Because if it is, then people better be shunning women like Ebony K and say, "Hey, you're wrong. You're wrong. You cannot do that to that child," right? Even if it's a girl, because I think that's what she had. Because if this bothers a young man, then obviously a girl can't have the balance either. So y'all should be telling anyone who says single mom by choice, y'all should be saying how wrong they are. Because you can't, right? Right? You can't. Because you're going to end up with these problems, right? But I'm sure we'll somehow, some way, you'll just get a pass. Because something. Again, if you're always right, what's the point? There's a feeling that part of him is missing, aka the father's presence. Regardless of truth, there will be an unfortunate sharp blaming to the mother of everything wrong. This slowly breeds into a hatred of all single mothers. You know, I never hear people make this case otherwise. Like they don't say, "Oh, well, because she grew up without her father or father blah 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 or whatever." You never hear the case made any other way. And it's fucking annoying. Reason number 2. A single mother is literally a psychological reminder to a man struggling with women that he wasn't sexually chosen first. I guess. I think there's more to it, but I'll just give him that one. For the sake of commentary, I will say that there's also could be a method of like think about one thing that just went, extremely loud the other day. Well, for the last couple months, which was EBT, right? those incels or dudes struggling with women, unless you think all these dudes are unemployed, well, those men are going to pay taxes, and those men are told that those taxes should help any woman in a struggling situation, and it's like, but also, ha ha ha, you can't get no pussy. That's like, well, damn. like, if you struggle with women, you keep hearing shit like this, I'll be mad as hell too. I mean, I will be mad as hell. I'll be mad as hell if I, for all my life, could never get no coochie ever. And you're like, you must help the women who are fucking around and popping their pussy on Instagram. It's like, ain't this a bitch? I gotta help. Oh, whoop. I need some pussy first. Like, I would be mad as hell too. So, hey, maybe that's true, but hey, I'll give him the right to be upset about that. Many men feel there will always be more of an unspoken loyalty to the child's father because she gave birth to his lineage. Well, yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing either. Like, that's like one of the examples I'll give two examples. For one, we've seen several times how, whether it's social media or even in real life, how the woman tells the dude who is just the way it works with the guy who is the stepdad versus the guy who is the baby daddy. We've heard the stories, we've seen the stories. Like, I even had it one time at my longest relationship. My girlfriend would tell me so many fucking stories about how a chick who got a baby daddy, how her current boyfriend, she really don't fuck with him like that. She don't like him. When he at work, she use his car. Like, it's the opposite. She use his car. He fucking with the baby daddy. It's like, yeah, that's very reasonable. That's a reasonable, like, resentment thing there, or suspicion, because it is thing. But the other example that I have is, so let's say I get with a chick who has a kid. Let's say that kid is 8 years old. It's like just old enough to have their own phone, at least to talk to their dad. Let's say that dad bought that phone with his money. He pays that bill with his money. The way his work schedule, whatever it is, works out, he can't call his kid till like 8:50. But I say no phones after 8:30. Does he just comply with the, okay, I'll try to talk to my kid when I can? Or does he say, that's my kid, that's my phone, fuck that. You ain't gotta be nowhere involved in it whatsoever. I'm calling my fucking kid. Because I've heard many dudes say, so I ain't gotta be bothered with the bullshit. I just bought the kid the phone just so they can have, so I can talk to him directly. But if you're in my house, if your kid is in my house, do my rules have to be bent for your kid? Do you see how you're giving a lot of authority to somebody who you would be a bitch if you were to ask them, are you going to pay some of my bills or the rent? People look at you like, the fuck is wrong with you? But you are giving him some authority in your house. The fact that he says, I don't give a fuck about your rules, I want to be able to talk to my kid. If you don't allow that to talk to his kid, it will be seen as you are stepping in the way. You are being a problem. Think about how many people say you don't have to buy the phone. I'm sure he will allow his kid to get to sleep at a timely manner, blah blah blah. You will be seen as someone who's getting in the way. You will be seen as Uncle Russ when Future is trying to call his fucking kid on the phone he bought him. This whole resentment thing of the loyalty to the baby, that's reasonable. Very, very reasonable. Moving on. Again, it's not about what's true or reasonable. It's about the feelings associated. Bullshit. I believe I just explained how it's about what's true and reasonable. Because it's not just a simple, I'm going to, whatever the fuck. Like, it's not just a feelings thing. Y'all really need to stop this. Y'all try so fucking hard to say men are the really emotional people, and it's aggravating. Because now you're trying to weaponize something that may or may not be true. and then just silencing the competition with, oh, if you respond, you're emotional. If you stand where you are, you're emotional. Remember that. So don't have an opinion or point of view because you're just being emotional. Fuck you, dude. Again, what do you expect to get with this? What do you expect to get with anybody when all you do is try to silence them, and now they can't say anything, they can't speak. You know that makes a person feel trapped, right? But I guess yeah, I'm pretty sure you just don't give a fuck. Because if you're a man and you feel trapped, you're just a weak bitch. So, weak bitch. Moving on. Uh, Many men feel it's better to only deal with childless women because they are perceived, quote unquote, not dirty, and he will have a better influence over her. Um, I don't know where the not dirty thing came from. I've never heard that in any red pill space. But maybe again, I don't listen to all of them, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't heard that term. Um, but to generally address it, um, I really again, it's hard for me to. I'm just gonna move past the not dirty part because I don't know what that is in that stands in for. But they'll have a better influence over her. The closest I'll come to agreeing with this is saying that if she not only doesn't have any children, but but it also assumes we're also going to assume that she hasn't had any abortions either or miscarriages, like she's never been pregnant ever. If there's the likelihood even into like the 40s and shit, but I would say it goes down with life experience in general. But again, not pregnant ever, no kids. I think you would have a lot better ability to I guess, I don't know, intertwine with one another. Have a connection or something like that because it's both of your firstborn, right? So you have that to bond over and everything. So I think I'll stand there. I won't fully agree with this statement, but that's where I'll leave it. There's unspoken feeling that the child's father is the true alpha of the house, regardless of how uncomfortable the mother may try to make the man feel. Well, again, look at my example that I had already gave. There's so much to this situation that um it's that could be the case because you know how the term alpha fucks beta bucks. Women have made it very clear that the guy that they get pregnant by or and all that stuff, young and dumb. But what that really means with that, one of the things that you reword that, one of the things that they can't mean is you wasn't thinking about any other intangible of how good the moment feels. Which is with this guy, the moment doesn't feel good, but he pays some bills. Like when you look up all these, hell, whether it's conversations in Red Pill or even things that are said by women themselves. That's another thing that I hate is we pretend that women don't have these same talking points. But um uh where was it? Oh yeah, the alpha thing. You could the closest that I'll come to that is that again, women themselves have said um that they're like I heard some stories about where you know if she got the guy at home, they don't really have sex like that, but she with this guy. One thing that a lot of women will do is that if the main her husband can't hit because the side dude did already, right? She had sex with dude during lunch, so she don't want to go home and have sex with her husband. Blah blah blah, quote unquote. Again, to his earlier point, which is the baby daddy, and I'm botching explaining this because I'm also watching the game. My bad, but yeah, it's like that's the thing. Like you trying to soup me through that. You have to go talk to him. Don't tell me all the memories of making that kid is gone. It's not. You have to go talk to him. And I'm one of those people. I refuse to believe that it's oh we just just mutually decided to quit and split. We just it was just nah. There are feelings there. You don't just oh we cool. We just not fuck that. Nah. Nah, the good terms are just as bad as the bad terms. Y'all still got some history there. That's all I gotta say about that. We'll get to number three. Number three. Many men believe that upon dating a single mother, all resources will be immediately depleted due to the maintenance of her children. Okay, he's overdoing that by a lot. I've never heard anybody say depleted by default or immediately, but okay. So here's the common talk about the resources thing, right? So on that show, Kendra G. And shout out to Kendra G, because one thing she regularly tries to tell women who, let's say she has like 4 kids, right? And the woman would say, "Oh, money. I'm not worried about money and blah blah blah." Because and it's like, well, we know you lying. We know you just don't want to have to receive that criticism. That again, ladies, is dodging criticism. Mean you if you are doing something that's either wrong or just not totally correct, you won't correct it because you're just dodging the criticism. But when they say stuff like that, Kendra will say like, "Yo, like," and to use myself as an example, listen, if I got a 2-bedroom house, if I get with a woman who has 4 kids and they all still live with her, where the fuck they gonna sleep? In the attic? Like it's to say that no, you have to sell this house, get bigger house, which means my note would my house note, my mortgage would increase at minimum by like 60%. So I have to be able to afford that. And then I choose, like right now, I don't have a car. Can I go finance one? Sure. Can I go buy a cash car? Sure. But I gotta get a car, and then I have to get a car for 6 fucking people. Because if you say, because you saying that she should be responsible for some of the shit financially because she's bringing 4 kids, you'd be wrong as a man. Moving on, that's not the part we're talking about right now. But yeah, like it's not like they're depleted immediately. It's that shit that's gonna be a lot. Shit. How much food they eat? They still growing? All right, we gonna get a big dumbass bag of instant mashed potatoes. All right, and that's gonna be dinner 2 or 3 times a week. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just the potatoes. We gonna put extra water in it too. Where am I? Again, it's not about what's true or reasonable. It's about the feelings. How the fuck are we talking about money and you just bring up feelings? That shit crazy to me. Dude, we're talking about finances. Fuck the feelings. True and reasonable, that's reasonable to worry about the finances. Again, you're overdoing it with the immediately, which I see now why you did that. But come on, dog. You're going to put feelings attached to that when we're talking about money. Right now, I drive a truck for a living. I purposely chose a job where I get to I got weekends off. I got holidays off. It's Thanksgiving. I didn't work Thursday or Friday. I got 3 weeks of vacation time right now. Could I go somewhere else and have better pay? Yeah. Could I go find something where I have to work out on the road more? Yeah. But obviously, I wouldn't be as comfortable. And right now, that's what I value, my comfort. So getting with a Kendra G contestant, I gotta switch all that up. I gotta work myself harder now. I can't be as comfortable anymore, at least in the work realm, because now I gotta work long ass hours. That's true and reasonable, dog. Don't tell me it's about feelings, bro. Fuck you. Get on my nerves with that shit. Reason number 4. Women are women have 100% reproduction rights. Yeah. Don't hit me with the some states have a 6-week ban and blah blah. Like if y'all don't get the fuck out of here with that, that is definitely 100% reproduction rights. Um, but that also plays into the hands of the podcasters, right? If you have 100% reproduction rights, how is it ever anybody else's job to help track your baby daddy down? How is it ever anybody else's job to get him in order? Before you reproduce, you could have went and talked to his mama, daddy, see what that situation is like and all that, blah, blah, blah. And don't hit me with the young and dumb. Y'all be doing this shit at 30. Y'all be becoming baby mamas at 40. Like, I ain't trying to hear the young and dumb. You 100% is on you. 100%. Why the fuck is anybody ever at all responsible? Why are we hearing Dr. Umar say be a big brother? Why? 100% that's you. If men had 100% reproduction rights, you would never hear about a single mother never again in life. That does not bode well for the side you lean towards, dude. It doesn't at all. If men had 100% reproductive rights, there would be no more single mothers. That is a really odd way of saying the wrong party got the rights. That's all that means. Women got the 100% rights, a bunch of single mothers. If men had it, no single mothers. What? Dude. That you're kind of making. Is this person a red pillar podcaster? He just fucking with people? I think that's what's going on. I think he's going to pluck some comments and see how stupid people are for trying to agree with this shit. Because women are literally choosing who lives and who doesn't. Many men share a deep hatred over single mothers. Okay, is he saying they hate them because of that specifically, or is he saying he hates them because of the results of that? Like, he has to be more specific there. Because if he says, yo, I hate the fact that they get to choose, well, that will be a normal human reaction. Because if you want to be able to choose, like, and you're a part of, hell, women hate the fact that they are the ones who have to birth the fucking kids. Like, it's normal to be a human and see something you disagree with and be like, damn, I hate that. I hate that shit. Like, I think instead what he's trying to imply is it's irrational because he's just hating women for biology exists. I think that's what he's alluding to there. I think. In addition, women get to decide what men have a chance to reproduce, who doesn't for their own reasons, whether it makes sense or not. I like the fact that he put whether it makes sense or not, because that does add what are the reasons why somebody would be annoyed or even hate that exists there, especially since he himself said if men made the choice 100%, you wouldn't have any of these problems. So, sure, sounds reasonable. Men don't have a choice in termination of pregnancy, and again, this breeds deep unspoken hatred. Many men feel they should have a say because it does affect them. Now, here's the problem with this. The second to last sentence. Many men don't have a choice in termination of pregnancy, and it breeds deep unspoken hatred. Why would it breed deep unspoken hatred? Because remember, they coin men generally as people who just leave. They just get to leave. It's that easy, right? We just you pregnant? All right, peace out. Why would that breed hatred if we have no connection to that at all? If it's that easy. If we could just poof disappear, what's the problem? Because I'll even use myself as an example. right? I know that it is not wise for me to have to try to have a family with a woman at all, even if it's just one kid. Because if she pulls that, listen, I'm a disclaimer here. No, I do not want to be like deadbeat dad and all that shit. Follow me. If I go through that, I have every intention 100% being there and involved, right? But if she pulls that weird, goofy, I just outgrew you. Huh? Yeah, I'm not really finished somewhere. Nah. I really don't want this family setup we have here. I'm leaving. I refuse to be told I have to settle for that family situation when she doesn't have to settle for this one. And she's just right just because. Fuck that. Hey, take this fucking kid with you. You want to live the life you want to live, me too. Hell, I'm not even gonna fight you. Keep. I will sign the house over to you. You don't need to give me no money. Keep it. You want the car? Sign over to you. Don't need to give me no money. Keep it. You gonna live the life you want to live. I'm gonna live the life I want to live. I am definitely going to pretend like none of them exist. If you do shit like that to me. So, hey, I don't have a deep hatred that you get to 100% decide. I am just going to I'm going to set my psychology up to where that's possible. You have 100% decision. You're damn right. And I'm going to act accordingly. Again, going to put 100% effort. 100%. Smile with the kid all the time. Try to teach it everything I can. Everything I don't know, we're gonna YouTube it. All that shit, all that picture day, everything. I'll even wear a button-up shirt to picture day. And a real smile. Show some teeth. But if she pulls that, I got a raise. You didn't. I kind of just, want to go explore other things because, you're so you and I outgrew you. So, fuck it, I'm out of here. Okay, peace out. I'm out of here too. I refuse to settle for this. You get to decide how our family situation is set up when I told you what I wanted, what I was willing to put up with. I told you the family format that I wanted. I'm never going to mislead a woman ever on that. I'm not doing the hot potato the kids back and forth. Not doing it. If I am going to have kids, it's going to be nuclear family setup. Full stop. Period. That's it. And if she decides that ain't for her after the kid is here, okay, well, the one you trying to set up ain't for me either. And I refuse to believe that you get to say, nah, I don't want this, and then now I just have to participate. No, fuck that. I gotta pay my freedom check. I get it. Every month, here you go. But I'm not doing that. So I don't understand how any hatred could be there. I'm fine. I'm sure the men who walk away are fine. So what hatred are you speaking of? It's almost impossible to have hatred when you understand the situation and how to go accordingly, however you choose to. Well, let's get to these comments. While I don't like the vitriol, there are legitimate grievances to have about them. I guess he said being single mothers. You see a higher level of violent crimes, including SADV, homicides, etc., as well as lowest wealth transfers and highest levels of poverty. I simply do not take that critique seriously from the men who keep making them, like No Fugazi, Tommy Sotomayor, and the very men like Andrew Wilson who marry them and trash talk about them. I need someone who actually can look at the full spectrum and offer viable critiques and solutions. People complaining endlessly about the same stuff is a no-go for me. I just skip. Yo, John Ross, I agree, bro. Is why I just really don't make videos anymore. Because it's just, I would like to do sports, but I can't find anybody who likes sports like I do, whatever. But yeah, it just seems like people just were like that guy with tonight's conversation. You can clearly see that situations like that, people are just trying to make money off of it and never actually offer the solution. which is very ironic because those same people would say they can cure cancer, they just don't wanna. So yeah, that. Um, but as far as this thing, he says that it's highest levels of poverty. There was also a study that I heard from several people. I'm not sure how true it is. I really don't look up these things once I get off YouTube. But one of the things was um, that the women who get the most abortions are usually women who earn at least like a regular income, and the women who are poor are the ones who um, have the kids. Like they're the ones who go ahead and have them. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure if that's true, that has a hand in the poverty thing. But then also you got to obviously take into account that it's really hard to dig yourself out of poverty if you're handing yourself more responsibility that you have to like overcome every fucking day. You have to find a babysitter. You have to find, you got every fucking day. Like, it's going to be harder on yourself when you do that. So I'm pretty sure there are several reasons for why that is the case. Um, let's see here. Let's go to the next one. Pandering to single moms who sell them worthless sessions, huh? Reach for the stars, lad. Just maybe a single mom will sign up one day. Enjoy. Good luck. I saw that he had some stuff pinned about, booking something. I didn't pay attention to what it was. So I can't say if this person is even a little bit right. I don't know. The real reason is we're supposed to be fighting the government for them. But shit, they better get the woman they choosing to do it. Shit, cause until I can have a conversation and get a black man's approval on this very strong red dress to the president, I don't know what the fuck to tell them, but hate ain't the way. LOL, show some goddamn dude. Wow. The answer is so simplistic. You don't like single mothers, don't date them. Okay, this type of rhetoric specifically pisses me off. Because you can say it just right back to them. They don't use it. They use it for more than just single mothers. They also use it for stuff like women with body counts and women with like different, like they say if you don't like this, then just don't date it. Well, the same to you. If you don't like men who question your single motherness, don't date them. If you don't like men who make this type of commentary on the internet, don't date them. You don't have to say anything about them on the internet, do you? But that's not what they give a fuck. That's not what they do. So this statement is fucking stupid. I don't like this rhetoric, dude. It's dumb. And I can't think of a time I've ever used this because, again, I think it's dumb. Hopefully, I've never used it, and I'm being a hypocrite right now. But this very statement, when you plug and play it anywhere, it's really dumb. It's really dumb. No thought that. Wow, I think she's missing some punctuations here. No thought that maybe the mother left due to abuse. Maybe the father passed away. Maybe the father and mother do better separate than together. Unfortunately, social media has dictated a lot of extreme situations and created characters driving thoughts with no nuance. People on both sides feed into these irrational thought processes. No thought that a majority of single mothers have taken full accountability, don't view themselves as victims, and have healed and teach their child the lessons gained. None of that is taken into consideration. Just judgment and scorn. It's all bad all around. Okay, I agree with half of it. I disagree with the other half. The half that I disagree with, I'll start with what I agree with. When she says social media, no nuance, extremes, absolutely. I've said that a lot. Like, I understand you need labels and generalizations to point to in order to have any conversation, because it's really difficult to have a conversation that isn't 7 years long, even though it's kind of that way right now. But if you have to constantly go over, okay, this specific single mother in this specific situation with this, like, is wow, like that is annoying as hell, right? So I understand that. I understand her saying that both sides feed into it. Yes, I absolutely agree. There's no way that I can say that I've haven't seen some shit in like the red pill or the manosphere. Hell, I'll give an example. The Medium Man. As much as I understand he likes to bring the statistics and he seems well put together and his presentation seems very thought out and so on and so forth, kudos. I get it. He does his due diligence. But one of the things that I absolutely disagree with is when he tried to put forth a program of some sort for single moms and the children, because he said that money needs to go for education and this and that, blah blah blah. Is to me it sounds exactly like Dr. Umar Johnson, except instead of time, he's asking you to put money in. And I asked him in his comment section, and shout out to him for responding. I said, so are in this program, are we going to like require like marriage and stuff? For, like we're going to pair the moms up with for marriage and all that stuff. And he said, no, this isn't for them, it's for the children. And this, I say this all the time. If you're going to put programs like that into place, you need to start solidifying and put in having more of a structure and order in place to begin with. And yes, pairing people together, marriage and all that stuff, that's part of it. No, I know people gonna see this as just trying to force women to be with someone that they don't blah blah blah. And to assuming that I'm just trying to force women into situations, I gotta say, fuck you in that thought. Because what I mentioned earlier, situations when we want to tax so we can have, I know we have more than that, but I'm focused on this right now. Taxes so we can have different programs, and now they want universal child care, and now they also want paid maternity leave, and it's like we are forcing people like me to participate in bullshit that they don't want to participate in to begin with. So don't miss me with the you shouldn't try to force them into, fuck that. We need more order. So we can if you don't have order, these programs don't work anyway. Because if let's say we put up the money and we got the program in place, we got the education program in place for the kids to get them on track, and they have more fucking kids the exact same way. Now what? We gotta track the baby's daddy down again. We got to put up more money for more of this shit. So if you don't have the structure in place, it doesn't work. So stop coming up with these bullshit programs if all you're going to say is, and they can still go do it again. That's stupid. Moving on. There are so many instances of special pleading in favor of women in this post. Notice, a woman could make a dating decision, and it doesn't matter whether it makes sense or not, but the dating decisions of men are psychoanalyzed. Women are in complete control of reproduction, but are also absolved of the consequences of said decisions. There's a saying, be careful of how you treat people on your way up, because they may be the same people you pass on the way down. This saying is considered wisdom in every area of life, except dating, where it suddenly becomes the quote-unquote revenge fantasy of previously unchosen men. If women cannot be criticized for not dating certain men and being vocal about it, then men should not be shamed for doing the same. I agree 100% with this post. I didn't think so at first, but the way he wrapped it up, I agree 100% with this post. I used to have a saying like years ago, back when I first found this type of, hell, I think even before I found this content. But my saying about it is, you're telling certain men that they're not invited to the party, but they better have their ass back here when it's time to clean up. Who the fuck would want to sign up for that? Who wouldn't be aggravated and even hate that situation? We gonna be partying like a motherfucker here. Fucking around, doing coke. We about to have a fucking ball. And then some people get the skirt out the back door. We're not gonna address them. But if you are not here with some trash bags and gloves, oh, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. With your pathetic ass. Get your weak ass in this house and clean up. Get your little dick, gay, stinky, broke ass in this house and clean this shit the fuck up. You wonder why I would be mad at that? like that doesn't make sense to you that I would be upset with that? You told me no. No party for you. Nothing. No. In fact, the people who got to choose, let's make it out. I'm doing this just to show you, all right? Don't be like, and see, you're showing your true color. I'm doing this to give you as much of a visual as I can. So let's say this party, only women got to decide who came in. But they did have their typical, bodyguards out there. Niggas, buff niggas with shirts off, talking the same shit that the dude in the post said. And then they got, all of them, all they had to do was hold the bags. That's it. They had to hold the trash bags for you to go around, pick up all the shit, and bring it back. And then after a while, they just stopped holding the trash bags. And instead, they just hooked it on like a pole or something. And said, all right, just put the trash here. We about to go and go to this retirement home. And fuck you. That's it. Like you'll be like, why the fuck why do you keep asking me to clean this shit up? I didn't do it. Like that's, I know I botch my example sometimes, but that's the part of the problem with this. You keep asking people, like I don't have kids. So when somebody like Umar Johnson keeps saying the black woman was betrayed by the black man, and it's like, my guy, I'm 34, no kids. Even if I did have kids, even if I had kids early, she'd be like 18, right? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're blaming me for shit that had nothing to do with me. Why do we never have all these symposiums I have of taking care of bastard children? Why is the baby daddies never there? Why? Y'all literally can't find them? Check the gas station at 2 a.m. They're there. Go to hell. A chick who's on food stamps and got kids of her own. He's there. It's just a different dude. All right, he's there. Go round them up, all the baby daddies, and have this discussion. I don't understand how this is ever addressed at men who don't have children. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't get how suggesting that the baby daddies and the baby mamas are forced to get back together. I don't understand that. Fuck what they want. They did this already. Why can't they be forced to get back together? Why? Why must everyone else have all this fucking grace and desire to put in to quote unquote make the community better? Why? Even if we say, all right, cool, I'm in. Why is it wrong to say, but first, all these fucking people with these kids gotta be paired together first? And then we'll move from there. Why is that not okay? I don't get it. We can't say get married even though you don't want to, but we can say take care of these kids that aren't yours even if you don't want to. That doesn't make sense. How am I in virtual or metaphorical prison for kids I didn't create? It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. How can you point at people who didn't do it and say, you're the problem for not being a big brother or example setter and blah, blah, blah? Get these niggas to do who made the children do it first. Do that first. That makes more sense. I wouldn't even have a problem with you doing that bullshit thing that the dude said, which is get them some job training so they can actually be a married couple and take care of a home. Like, I would even accept that. But at least do that. Moving on. I know some really cool ass single moms. I don't know why people are so obsessed with putting them to shame. This reminds me of that one thing that had trended for a while, that video on Instagram, where he said, ain't nothing wrong with single moms. Shit, they keep stock cereal, the Wi-Fi cracking. They got snacks. We good over here. Is something wrong with you? And women really rode that shit. And it's like, there's no fucking way you actually think that that's a good thing. There's no way that you heard him say that. You do know he's talking about just hanging out and fucking you, right? You know what your baby daddy did, and you. Wow. All right. Okay. All right. I guess. Sure. Anybody who's just blowing smoke up your ass is just gets a pass. All right. Cool. Dondi says, "You are 100%." Why the fuck did you put the percent sign right there? You are 100% right. Also, why give energy to things you hate? That only makes the hate grow. Yo, I'm not even reading this full thing. You do realize the same thing could be said to you. If you hate men that talk about single mothers, why give them any energy? We're talking about podcasts, remember? We're talking about the internet, right? Literally, just go to just go to a different media. Roll past the post. It only makes your hate grow. It only makes his hate grow, right? This is stupid. It's just, what the fuck? Yeah, I can agree with this and also know that it's biological reason as well. No man has ever listed a preference for a woman to have children by another man. So having the quote-unquote wrong man, children is a mark against her. It's a natural built in. She can get mad about it. She can not like it. She can kick and scream and throw tantrum. But there is a type of man out there that won't take her seriously simply because she has children by another man. Choices have consequences. Do we want her to live a life not worthy of dignity, honor, and respect? No. Wish them the best, but it's simply not in every guy thing. And yeah, the betas that don't get to play LOL have to settle for women with other men's children. Okay, so I'm not gonna totally just latch on to this explanation, even though I think quite a bit of it makes sense. What I will say, I guess a summary, or in my own words of this post here, is basically there are plenty of men who have and who will get with a woman who has children. Despite this being a growing podcast thing, it has only at most slowed it down. It has not stopped it. All it has done is slowed it down. It has simply told men to stop blindly doing it. That's all. Like, I understand that people like Myron, Fresh and Fit say, don't ever. But we let's be real. People are human. As I've said before, telling people don't date single moms or fat chicks, or telling women don't date broke men or men who make less money than them. Be fucking real. People are human. So again, there have been and there will be men who get with women who already have children, even if they don't. All the podcasting has done, all the internet has done, is made men think more logically about the situation. Made men think more so, okay, this is her baby daddy. This is how she talks about him. Here's how often he shows up. I think I'm gonna stay away from that. Because I can't totally know what's going on in somebody's mind. That has a high probability of them fucking behind my back. So I won't do that. Or her kid has a lot of extracurricular activities. The daddy don't do shit. So I'm gonna end up paying for all this football gear, huh? yeah, I'm gonna start like all. That's all it's really done. That's it. And even then, dudes still go, okay. So if I get with her, this much of my check is just not going to be in my pocket, right? I'm no longer going to have it. It's basically like signing up for a car note indefinitely, and I don't get to keep the car. It's totally up to the dealership if I get to keep the car, right? Fuck it, I'll take it. That's all it has done. That's all it has done. Nothing more, nothing less. All right. So people like this you're trying to make men hate. Nah, it just gets out of hand sometimes. I'll admit, but that's all about it. So I'm gonna go and find like two more because I'm an hour and 5 minutes in. So gonna go and find two more and then chalk it up from there. Jay Bird says, that's a whole lot of words that could have been summed up as we don't want to play another man's saved game, and we don't want to be the third or fourth to another man's spawn. Any man of value that has options, put single moms to the bottom. I never waste my time. Cope. Okay, sure, I guess. But so let's think about this. When you watch a show like Kendra G, how often, like, I don't watch it really anymore. Like, every now and again when I'm bored, I'll see a video and click on it. But other than, you know what? I seen a video today. A chick who had, I believe, 2 kids by 2 men. I think. I can't remember. It was several fathers, right? And not only that, well, this is a crazy detour, but I thought about it. Anyway, but I'll refrain from going that far. But every show is about, most of the chicks on there have like several kids and by several men. And then the expectation is, well, you don't have to do anything up front, but at some point, yeah, sure, my 4 kids. And it's like, yo, you expecting a world from me, bro, but it's like, and they don't want to answer the question about if they just had sex or they might have had sex like 2 weeks ago. And it's like, I seen Thon Lexia reaction yesterday, it was. And the chick had 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. And she had a current ongoing thing with a dude. And it's like, well, everybody has sex. Everybody. And here's one thing I always ask. The new dude who's coming along, who is about commitment, unlike the dude you're just fucking, when does he become the dude you're fucking? But you're also aiming for commitment. This is the type of thing that goes into like, yeah, I'm not about to do that. Because not only you got kids, I also got to do some courting thing. It's like, send me an application, I'll sign it. I'll fill it out. Other than that, let's go to one more. Or I guess it's the last one. I agree. It has to be looked at as a whole. Are there single moms out there who aren't worth a fart and a windstorm and play terrible games? Absolutely. But all single mothers are not terrible people either. Some I know personally, but again, they didn't impregnate themselves. I agree with what a wise man said before. There's rarely, if ever, such thing as baby mama drama. It's almost always dumb nigga drama. You were a dumb nigga for not doing your due diligence and getting her pregnant, and now you're suffering the consequences as a man. Also, if a woman was a great wife and mother but lost her husband, does that mean she's automatically a bad person? Absolutely not. Dudes need more discernment to avoid shitty women in bad positions. You have to discern if you are the man in that relationship or just the life janitor. Okay, see, here's one thing a dude up top said, which is this somehow it just became immediately just the man's problem. Like, when you're saying, hold on, baby mama drama and dumb nigga drama, don't get her pregnant, have more discernment, you're talking about the baby daddy. We're talking about specifically men who don't have children and them not dating women with children. What the fuck? Like, every single time, there's always this weird push to kind of like switch the whole situation, bro. Why would we be talking about the dumb nigga drama if we're not talking about baby daddies? That's stupid. Only people who are dating men with children would be having the whole baby daddy thing. Like, that's, come on, bro. And even if you're talking about the dumb nigga drama of the baby mama that the dude would be getting with, that's part of the point, dummy. If she has dumb nigga drama, that's one of the reasons why you would say, bro, you should think about that before you get into it with a baby mama. Oh my God. Smart ass. I hate when people try to be overly smart and they're just so fucking dumb. And then the whole thing about single mothers being terrible people, that's besides the point. That is besides the point. Before we get to the is she a terrible person, is this something you want to get yourself into? Someone who either had a toxic situation with someone they had a kid with, or someone who had a child with someone and just said, we can just part ways. I've heard those stories as well in real life. People who just go, we're just kind of just, better apart. Now? What the fuck? Now? You're just better apart now, after the kid. Now you are. Bullshit. You fucking liar. That's a lie. You're not better. All of a sudden, shut up. You both didn't take any type of, put any thought into it. You just had the baby. Admit that. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. We're just all better off apart. So as the guy who's coming in and being a part of this bullshit, are we just better off just being like roommates who fuck? Are we just better off doing that? Are we? You never hear that shit. Ever. One thing, and also what you never hear, and this is part of the whole baby mama thing, you never hear ever, if a chick ends up in a bad situation, you never hear her say we grew apart. You only hear that shit when she's like better off. That's the only way she can grow, apparently, is away from you. Whereas, if a woman was a great wife and mother, lost a husband, or cover that. Okay, then he says, but again, they did not impregnate themselves. Did he read the post? I believe it was reason number 4. They have 100% reproduction, right? So if they didn't impregnate themselves, you kind of have to nullify number 4. Because they 100% decides who gets here. But you get to say they didn't impregnate themselves? The fuck they didn't. They did. Because it's 100% on them. So they did. Think of it as like me buying you some gas, right? I see you on a quarter tank. I say, here you go. Here's $50. Go get you some gas. Which I would never do, honestly. People who know me know that. But you go and you put half of that in the tank. You put some more in a couple gas cans. And then you're going to set somebody's car on fire. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Wasn't me. Or if I have some gas and you borrow it, because you want to do your little bonfire. Okay, cool. You can have a bonfire, and then you go and arson somebody's car. Again, that's not me. That's not my fault. I didn't do that. And as far as I know, that's not a crime because you told me something else. But for some reason, in the land of fucking, when we say, "Oh, we're not going to have any kids with this cum," you're gonna poop it out. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna poop it out. You're not gonna have kids with this. In fact, you're on a pill, right? You're on a shot. You're on every form of birth control imaginable. And if you get pregnant, you just gonna abort the bitch. That's what you gonna do. And then you don't. I don't understand how all of a sudden I'm on the hook now. I don't get that. I don't get how you say, under no circumstances will I be having your kid. I will do everything in my power to not have your kid, and then you don't. You actually going to have my kid. I don't understand how I'm on the hook. Like you said, and then you didn't. I mentioned you both times. Not sure how that comes back on to me. But that's the last one. What do y'all think about this? I would really love to hear some comments in the comment section. Be right, not positive. I'm out.